Hello and welcome to Dating Across the Aisle with Jyl and Pete,
Hello, how's it going?
where our differences spark connection, not conflict.
Sure hope so.
I'm on the left.
I swing to the right.
My goodness. How was your week?
It's been good. Yeah, I got to spend some time at the lake with my daughter. We went paddle boarding. I got some sun, got a sunburn, suntan. It's more of a suntan because, I'm brown and it doesn't burn.
I performed a life-saving surgery.
On who?
On you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, let's hope he doesn't lose 2 fingers. Okay, so weekday update. We have no dates again to talk about, but I thought we would talk about 5 tips for putting yourself out there on a date.
Okay.
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 So the first one is start before you feel 100% ready.
While you're still working on yourself, it's okay to date, is what you're saying.
I think this is more for people who are feeling super, not confident, right? They're like, I want to get out there, but I'm a little too nervous. So the first one is that confidence comes after action, not before.
Okay.
So the more you do it, the more you get out there, the better you're going to be at it.
So just adding experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even small steps like eye contact. What? We don't do this anymore.
I do.
Or sending a DM builds momentum.
Like sliding into somebody's
Sliding
DMs.
into someone's DM. Oh boy. So proud of you that you know what that means.
I mean, I may have done that once or twice before.
Number 2 is to let people know that you're open to dating.
So how do you do that?
So you tell trusted friends or casually mention to people that if they want, they can set you up and that you're not closed off.
Hey, Jill, I'm open to dating.
My friends hate you.
I'm not saying you're friends. Especially not the one that wants to throttle me.
No,
How's she doing, by the way?
I don't know. She's great.
Okay. Tell her I said hi.
I will.
Okay.
Your energy says more than your words, so be more open than guarded. So when you're out and about, look at people's faces, say hi to them, put out the energy that hey, I'm open for you to talk to me.
Got it.
And you always tell me if I make eye contact with someone, just say hi.
I mouth the words.
Hi.
It works every time.
Because then you're like, she's open to chatting with me.
Absolutely, 100%. If some female did that to me, I'd be like, hey, she's open to having a conversation, or she might potentially be interested in me.
Sweet. Number 3 is redefine rejection as redirection.
I like it.
Guys know more about this than women, but we do get rejected too. So it's not personal, it's about compatibility, not your worth. So just because someone says no to you or doesn't like you doesn't mean that you're worthless. It just means that they're not for you.
Yeah.
And it's redirecting you to someone else that's better on your path.
Yeah, like I've said, I've been rejected hundreds of times. It's positive to me. It's a learning experience. Just let it go.
Right. Try seeing each experience as data, not drama. Number 4 is use dating apps with intention. So don't just swipe on autopilot. You're like, I'm bored. Create a profile that feels like you, set limits, and be discerning and only engage with people who seem emotionally available. So the guy that messages you right away and he's like, what's up, baby? You're like, cut bait.
Or the ones that just say hi or wave and looks like they don't put any effort in.
Yep, love those too. Or they say something sexual right off the bat. You're like, okay, bye.
Like, let's fuck.
Yes, I've had many of those.
I've never
As
done
an
that.
opener.
What?
It's an opener.
Like, that's
their
their first
opening
line?
And you're like, does this work?
Well, what I've said is like they go back to the well because it's worked one time before. And so it's like it's bound to work again. So they keep on doing it. It's like rewarding bad behavior.
Yeah, so stop rewarding the bad boys. We don't like it. Number 5 is to practice self-compassion along the way. Dating can be messy and vulnerable, and treat yourself kindly. And you're not behind, you're being brave for trying.
What is self-compassion?
Loving yourself.
Why didn't you just say that? Make it all fancy.
I'm just doing what it says.
Oh, okay.
They're from my notes. I try to get Good content for you.
I'm in love with myself.
Yeah, we know. This is shocking, really?
Good. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so one of my favorite dating coaches, and she's also an author. Her name's Jillian Turecki. She has a book that just came out, and I just love her Instagram. She posts so much good content. But this week she said, don't pretend to be cool with casual. Aim to make real connections with people, even if they're not for you. Be real and honest, because real and honest are what move people.
So what I heard a little bit in that is like set boundaries and stick to them.
Yeah. If you don't want a casual relationship and that's what's happening, then get out of it.
Quickly.
So yeah, that's our week date update for this week.
Okay. Sounds good.
So in episode 7, Pete said that he read somewhere that around 25% of women go on dates to get their meals paid for. So I did the research to try to find it, and here's what I found. So the academic studies on dating for free meals, there was research by Collison, Howell, and Herrig in 19. They published in Social, Psychological, and Personality Science. The studies surveyed around 700 to 1,100 heterosexual women. They coined the term foodie call instead of booty call.
I mean, that's a good play on words right there.
I never heard that.
I've been on some foodie calls or been called for some foodie calls before.
So going on a date primarily for a free meal with no romantic interest.
And what year did you say? It's 2019?
2019.
So things could have got better since now.
The findings were that 23 to 33% of the people that they surveyed reported having done this at least once, but only around 21 to 25% admitted doing it frequently. So you were right. Women who engaged in foodie calls tended to score higher on dark triad traits such as narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy, and held more traditional gender beliefs.
Held more traditional gender beliefs?
Yeah. So possibly more conservative women might be doing this? I don't know.
Say less.
I'll buy your dinner, girl. Further confirmation in media and news, Business Insider reported 22 to 33% of women in a sample of 698 had gone on dates for free meals, linking this behavior to narcissistic and psychopathic tendencies.
They crazy.
They crazy.
I wanted to say something else.
You filtered?
Bitches be crazy.
And CBS News also confirmed the 23 to 33% range, and they're the ones that coined the term foodie call.
And it was 2019, so things are sure to have gotten worse.
In 2023, there was a cross-national survey done from the US, UK, and Poland. And they found that 53% of American women admitted to having a foodie call, compared to just 7% in the UK and 13% in Poland. Wow. And so this suggests that the behavior is more common
in the West
here in America with traditional male paying norms.
Women are using men just for a free meal.
You already knew that, though.
Oh, I did. I've been a victim.
Sure.
I don't play victim. Don't do it again.
Okay. The next subject is a hot take by Pete.
What?
This is not going to be popular.
Great. I don't even know what you're going to say right now.
Out of the gate. Pete believes that it's important that women should know that men want and what men want, and that one of the beliefs he has is about women and their body counts.
You can't just say that.
Yes, I can. You wanted to talk about this, so talk about it.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's just common sense. A dude wants a woman that's...
Okay, talk to everyone like they're in kindergarten, because this was news to me.
How is it news? It feels like common sense. Why would any dude want a woman that's been ran through by every dude around the block? I mean, so there's been studies that actually women get left an imprint by guys. Each guy, every single guy that they have had sex with. And also pair bonding is much more difficult the more people that a female slept with. And so, which makes it harder to create a long-term relationship with a female that's had a higher body count. And also, so one of the things that happens to me is I come from a small town. In a small town, if you date a female that has a higher body count, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting somebody that she slept with. And it's more than likely five of your friends. So, I mean, that's also adding to it too. It's embarrassing.
Okay. But this doesn't apply to men.
Well, no, because we're different. Men
Okay.
and women are not equal. You can't make me believe men and women are equal. And, I mean, and it's not that one's better than the other. It's just we're so different in every which way. And this is one of them.
So you don't have a problem with bonding with someone then?
Not at all. No. Because, so for guys, having sex could be, unless you have really deep feelings for this person, it's just an act. Most of the time, it means nothing. I could, not me personally, but I'm sure that there are plenty of guys out there that can be so in love and still not act any differently or treat whoever they're with. They could be even married and sleep with somebody else, and it means absolutely nothing. They'll forget them the next day. They won't even think about it. With women, there's more of an emotional connection. And I know it sounds like a double standard, which it probably is. That's what you said. Let me finish. And it probably is, but that's because men and women are so different.
So men's body counts don't matter.
No, I mean, to some people it does. I mean, especially if it's like 500 or something, yeah, that might matter. But also, I've heard that I haven't read any statistics on this, so don't shoot me, but I've heard that women like a man that's good in bed. How does this man get that way?
You need statistics for that?
I'm just saying, I don't know what the statistics are, but
Yeah.
okay, so how do men get experience or how do they get good in bed? It's not by just reading about it. They're doing it. So that
But
right
does it
there.
have to be a bunch of different women?
Well, yes.
Can't you get good at it with one person?
No, because then it's the same thing over and over again. Like how do you know if you like anything other than chocolate if you've only tried chocolate and not strawberry or vanilla? Just saying. And men, I'm not saying all men, but the majority of men don't want or don't need the female they're dating to have experience. If the man already has experience, the woman doesn't need experience because we can teach you.
So you go around making everyone's body counts higher, and then you tell them that their body count's too high for you.
Yeah,
Got it.
it's a double standard, but I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, so the answer to that is women should hold out for the right guy.
You heard it here first.
But I mean, don't give it out so easily. And studies show that the majority of women, like 80% of women, sleep with 20% of guys. So only the top 10 and 20% of guys are sleeping with the majority of women. So why is that?
You've asked me this before.
Right.
It's because those are the charming guys. Those are the guys who are good looking. Those are the guys that are tall.
And those are the guys with the high body counts that are good in bed. And you still want them. So body count, you're telling guys body count does not matter. We know you've slept with 100 girls. It does not matter. I still want you, is what girls are still saying to those guys.
But those guys don't care about girls' body counts, do they?
Well, well, no, I'm not. Okay, I'm going to put myself in those guys' shoes. If all I want is one night with you, I don't give a shit how many people you've slept with. I'm just going to add to it, smash and dash.
Because you know she's going to be better at it the more she's done it too.
Correct. And so it's going to be one night of good fun and then on to the next. But you know what? I put those girls in the recreational use only category, not the long-term relationship category.
Okay. So you're talking about if guys want a long-term relationship with you, they want you in a different category.
No guy wants a long-term relationship with me. Saying.
If a guy wants a long-term relationship with a woman, this is important to him, is what you're saying.
Absolutely, yes. And it goes back to what I was just saying, like, especially for me, coming from a small town, is you don't want every one of your friends already have been with the girl you're seeing. That's not long-term relationship status right there.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
But I know that the reason that we talked about this is because you said you can't believe that women don't know this.
Yes. I mean, it's said everywhere. How do they not know this?
I didn't know.
Okay. So I see all these videos and I read all these articles about females saying, I want a guy that is chivalrous, that, like opens doors and does all the nice things, that pays for dates, that pays for bills, pays all this stuff. Okay, so that's telling me they want a traditional man, right? But are they traditional? A traditional woman has a low body count, correct?
I mean, I would assume so.
Okay, so are they traditional wanting a traditional man? And if they have high body count, no. You don't qualify for a traditional man if you're not a traditional woman. We were just talking about that on, I believe, on the last episode. Is like, if you want this type of person, you got to be that type of person, right? If you want a traditional man, you got to be a traditional woman. I mean, it's pretty easy.
Okay. I mean, I will say that I don't think that all guys care about this, but
Well, no, but the majority do. The majority is 51%. And I am pretty certain 51% would agree.
okay then.
So, I mean, what do you say? Do you care so much as how much a guy's body count is as to, or do you just want him good in bed?
Okay, well, first of all, do guys even know their body count? I don't think they do.
I don't think
You know, it's
most.
like they're like, it's a lot. Like, I can figure out by how many stories someone tells me that I'm like, this dude's been with a lot of girls.
You can tell how they talk to you and how, I guess, smooth they are, that it's not one or two.
Right,
So you already know.
right.
If they're in that top 10 or 20% of guys, you already know they've had experience.
So yeah, it has never occurred to me that it would matter to me, but
Does it matter to you?
not really.
Exactly. Say less. It matters to me, though.
Well, I mean, you're talking to someone who waited. I
Until
didn't have
marriage.
sex until I was married. I was married to the same person for 21 years. I would have a lot of catching up to do to have a high body count for anyone. So,
Me too.
so I'm not saying like that I'm offended by it because I have a high body count. I'm just saying that I just didn't know
Right.
that that's
But I mean, most women do want, I mean, I would say, I don't know. If you disagree, let us know. But most women, I believe, want a man that's good in bed.
because there are certainly men that aren't.
I wouldn't know. I definitely wouldn't
You
know.
wouldn't know.
I would not know that part, and I'm not gonna find out either, ever. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I
Do
just
you
don't
feel
choose
like
it.
you got to make your peace with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know you was gonna bring that up. I was not prepared.
Well, I'm sorry. We talk about things during the week. We have discussions, and then you say, I want to talk about this because nobody ever talks about it. So there we go.
True
Talked about
story.
it. I
mean,
didn't want to talk about it.
this is how it goes. She knows what we're talking about, and then I get notified while we're recording.
They know. Okay, next question for you. You ready?
Yes.
Do you believe in soulmates?
No. I mean, simple answer is no. So you said soulmates
Yeah.
or soulmate?
I mean,
So when I think of that, is like, you're telling me out of the 7 billion people in the world that there's only one person for me? I can't get on board with that. No, I mean, what if she's halfway across the world? I'm screwed, and not in the good way.
but do you believe that the universe or God or whatever would put her in your path?
Well, I think that's different than a soulmate. I do believe God puts people in your path that you need at that time. And eventually will be the right time that you get to find that person that you get to spend the rest of your life with.
So I'll answer now. Thanks for asking.
Do you believe in
Oh
soulmates?
my gosh, thanks for asking.
Sorry, I was deep in thought. I was like,
I don't believe in soulmates either.
so why are you grilling me so damn hard?
I was just getting it out there. So, no, I don't. I do believe that the universe, God, however you look at it, puts people in your path and you make a choice whether you're going to make it work with someone or not. And if it doesn't work, then you choose someone else. And I think sometimes you get lucky and find someone to spend your whole life with, and other times only a chapter of your life.
A reason, a season, or a lifetime.
That's right.
I like it.
Yep, yep. Okay, so today our big topic we're going to talk about is breakup.
See, this is what I thought we were going to talk about. I didn't know you was going to blindside me like that.
Blindsiding you.
I had zero clue that you was going to ask me that.
Well, you did great.
I was ill prepared.
So the first question in our breakup edition, you have any breakups in your life?
I might have one, maybe two.
Dozen?
Oh,
I don't know.
do you have any breakups?
Well, I've been divorced, and
So
then
there's one.
I've had 3 boyfriends.
So there's 4.
So 4 total in my whole life.
Tell us about those breakups.
Really?
Not every one of them, just maybe.
Yeah, my divorce was amicable. That was nothing exciting to write home about. I did have a pretty bad breakup with my boyfriend that I had for 3.5, 4-ish years. This is actually a crazy story. So he posted something on Instagram and I went to comment on his post and I noticed a girl commented and her profile picture was of her and my boyfriend.
Wait. On social media, the dude you were dating, how long were you dating him?
Almost 4 years.
No, when you found this out.
Yeah, right there.
Okay, after 4 years of being boyfriend and girlfriend with him, another female had a picture of your boyfriend and her on her
social media. Wow. That's how I figured it out. And then I became an FBI agent and I got down to it.
Did you contact her?
No, but I did go and find everything that I needed to find. Found out he was overlapping us for 5 months. That was really kind of brutal. Found out at work too. So I was like at my desk and I was like, what is this?
So how did that breakup go? How did you confront him? Did you confront him?
He denied it he's like, I never
deny,
did that.
deny.
I haven't seen anyone else. I'm like, she has a picture of you two together. She clearly thinks that you guys are together.
I mean, sidebar. So there are things that you have. I've got questions, and I didn't know it was a thing. It's like, are you single? Are you single? Is there anybody that may perceive to be in a relationship with you? Like you have to answer, are you single? You have to answer like 4 or 5 questions.
I do ask this question to every guy that I date. Is there anybody who thinks that they're in a relationship with you?
I got that question too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a few weeks ago, and I was like, not that I know of. Wow, that's so crazy. You got to ask these things nowadays.
Yeah. Because, I mean, she obviously was super upset when she found out about me.
Oh, wait, so she didn't know either.
She didn't know either. No, she had no idea.
And you didn't talk to her at all?
Not till later.
Okay.
I mean,
are y'all friends?
I think no.
Just asking.
No.
Okay.
They're still together, by the way.
What? How long ago was this?
21, so 4 years.
Oh, what? It's about time for him to start getting another one.
He'll probably find a new one to overlap with. Time to move on. So yeah, that's one of my breakup stories. That was fun.
Right. Well, any more?
I have one more, but I'll save it maybe for later.
Oh, okay.
Do you have one?
I mean,
just pick one.
I have.
We could put it in a jar and pull them out.
It's not like that. I mean, it's just I mean, no, I don't really want to talk about my divorce. That was so bad. But I mean, I have a really, I mean, weird kind of Jerry Springer type bullshit breakup. It was good.
Oh yeah, tell us it.
Well,
This sounds exciting.
how long ago was this? Man, this was like 7 or 8 years ago. I started, maybe it was even longer, maybe 8 or 9. But I started dating someone and we were dating for 4 or 5 months. And she said, well, just out of the blue, I thought like things were going well. And I need a break. It's like, what? A break? What do you mean? She's like, things are just moving too fast. I just need to get away. And so she goes, I need to take a break. I'm going to go and visit my son who lived in Arizona at the time. He's like, I'm going to go and visit my son for a little bit, just clear my mind. I just need a break. I was like, okay, cool. And didn't hear from her. She was gone for like a month and a half. And so I just forgot, right. I just forgot about her and moved on with my life. And so went back to work, just kept myself busy. And then, like I said, about a month and a half later, she hits me up and she's like, hey, how are you doing? I was like, oh, it's weird to hear from you. I just assumed that we were done and was moving on. So I said, what's going on? How are you? And we started talking. And after a few weeks, we started talking. And she's like, well, I'm back in town and just wondering if you were seeing anybody. If not, can we get together and maybe have a drink and talk? It's like, okay, I'm not seeing anybody. So we got back together and well, we met up and started talking. And then after a while, we started seeing each other again, got back together. And soon after we got back together, she had a teenage daughter. And it was her daughter who actually spilled the beans. And she tells me, she goes, when we went to Arizona, we were playing house with mom's ex-boyfriend. I was like, and I pretended to know all this. I was like, oh yeah, I already knew all that. And so hopefully she could tell me more. And so she did. She just kept on going and it got worse. And she's like, yeah, she even, the reason why we went to Arizona is because she was pregnant. I was like, oh yeah, yeah. I said, yeah. And I was trying to act cool. I was like, yeah, I heard about that too. And so she goes, yeah, mom even took me to Walmart to go get the pregnancy test to go and see if she was pregnant because she had cheated on me while we were seeing each other. And then when she found out she was pregnant, she was like, oh, I need a break. And that's when she went to, I figured it out afterwards.
Wait, how do you know you weren't the dad?
I'm fixed.
So you had a vasectomy.
Oh, a long time ago. I can't have kids. No. So I know it's
She's
not.
not getting pregnant by you.
And she knew I was fixed. That's why she didn't come hit me up and say, no, we're pregnant. No, we ain't. And so yeah, her daughter kept saying, and then it's like, yeah. And then she had an abortion. And then because it didn't work out with the ex that she got pregnant from. And so she had an abortion. And then after all that was done, she came back and tried to get back with me. And then, so when I found out, I was like, this is not going to work. And I walked away.
You are not the father.
Yeah, I told you some Springer bullshit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Woo.
I can write a book. Some weird stories. Not a lot of them, but they're so weird. I mean, even my divorce is so weird too. It's like it can be a chapter in, I don't know, what's a Ricky Lake? I already used Jerry Springer. I can't keep going back to that. Ricky Lake.
Aging us. Yeah.
Well, then who's the new people?
I don't think there is.
Oh, okay. Forget I said anything.
Jerry Springer's good.
Okay.
Okay, so why are breakups so painful?
Well, because you care and because you already had your hopes up, and it's so hard whenever you have feelings. When feelings, that's why don't catch feelings. It's dangerous. As soon as you catch feelings, man, you already know if it's going to end, it's going to hurt.
Right. So some of what experts say about this is that your brain thinks that you're in withdrawal. So according to biological anthropologist Dr. Helen Fisher, who studies love and attachment, romantic love activates the brain's reward system, specifically dopamine pathways similar to those involved with a cocaine addiction. So when the relationship ends, that dopamine supply is abruptly cut off.
Put the Coke back in Coke.
And your brain reacts literally like you're going through withdrawal.
I did not know that.
So some of the symptoms are that you have obsessive thinking about them, you have emotional cravings, you're restless, you have anxiety. I know, like, when I got divorced, I had lost 40 pounds. Like, I couldn't eat. Like, I was so sick all the time. Like, I was just such a mess. But it is just like detoxing from a drug, that your brain goes through the exact same withdrawal symptoms.
That could explain why it hurts so damn much.
Yeah. So if you're going through a breakup and you think that you're crazy,
Do cocaine?
great advice.
Well, no, it was a question. That was oh.
Don't do drugs. Dr. Helen Fisher said romantic love is an addiction, a perfectly wonderful addiction when it's going well, and a perfectly horrible addiction when it's going poorly. So, number 2 says that breakups activate the same area as physical pain. A study from the University of Michigan using MRI scans found that emotional pain, like if you see a photo of your ex, that it lights up the same brain regions as physical pain, particularly the anterior cingulate cortex and insula. That's medical speak. This explains why a breakup can literally feel like a punch to the gut or chest.
Yeah, no, so there was one time I cared a lot about this young lady, and after the breakup, I was like, am I going having a heart attack? It's like I felt almost like pains in my chest. Like, have you heard the George Lopez joke? And he's out having like a barbecue and with a cooler and all that stuff, and his wife is pissed at him, and he thought he was going through a heart attack. He's like, I got a pain in my chest, and the whole joke is like him saying that, and his wife's like, that's what you get, pain in my chest.
You have feelings.
Yeah, yeah. Don't catch feelings. That's why I said don't catch feelings.
You have no risk, no reward.
True story.
Number-
Not a quitter. Keep trying.
Number 3, you're losing an attachment bond. According to attachment theory developed by Bowlby and expanded by researchers like Dr. Sue Johnson, we form deep emotional bonds with romantic partners similar to the way children bond with caregivers. So a breakup represents the loss of an attachment figure, triggering feelings of abandonment, fear, and instability. This is especially intense for people with anxious attachment styles who may feel a heightened of rejection and loss.
Rejection, loss.
And loss. Number 4 is that you lose part of your identity. Psychologist Dr. Gary Lewandowski coined the term self-expansion theory, which says that we often define ourselves through our partners. For example, you have shared goals, you have routines, you have a social circle. After a breakup, people experience a shrinking of their self. You're not just losing them, you're losing a version of who existed in that relationship.
Right. So there are some people that I've heard say, I'm finding myself, or I'm trying to find myself again. That could be why.
Certainly. Yeah. And that identity disruption creates confusion, it creates grief, and a need to rebuild a new self concept. So, I mean, I know when I got divorced, we had so many mutual friends, and we're like, who are we picking?
Yeah,
like,
that's all great. What side are you picking?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
and then you're like, can we still be friends? And there were some people that I was like, I don't even think I can be friends with them anymore because it's just too weird.
Yeah.
And
I've had that before. Broke up with a young lady, and it was her friends first, but I ended up being really good friends with this guy. And I said, hey, let's go have a drink. And we went and had a drink. And he's like, hey, just so you know, I was friends with her longer. We're cool and all. But I was like, I understand. Okay. So,
And number 5 is that you're grieving a future that won't happen. So breakups don't just kill the relationship, they kill your imagined future. The trips, the kids, the anniversaries, the home. Psychologists often refer to this as ambiguous loss or disenfranchised grief, a kind of mourning that's not always acknowledged or validated by society. But I know for me, this is probably a weird story, but I remember watching the Today Show after my divorce, and they were like featuring someone that had just had their 50th wedding anniversary. And I just started bawling because I was like,
it's never going to happen.
I'm never going to have that. I'm never going to have a 50th anniversary with anyone because now I'm too old.
Oh, wow. Well, I just realized I'm too old to ever have a 50th year anniversary as well.
I mean, unless you live to like 100 and you would have to meet her. No.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. And I don't plan to live to be 100. I mean, I hope.
You're so stubborn, you won't die before you're 100.
I was hoping to make it to 80.
You're going to be way past that.
I don't think so. I don't know.
So part of a breakup is figuring out how to handle it after it happens. So have you ever gone no contact with someone?
Yes, at 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I told myself the one specific instance I'm thinking of is, yeah, cannot contact her whatsoever again. And for about 10 months, she would send me a text every 4 or 5 weeks, and I'd block that number. And then she'd find another number to contact me on. I'd block that number. It's like went on for like 10 months. And finally I stopped getting texts, but I never once ever responded to her. And I kept blocking everything that she would contact me on.
Did you break up with her?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So, what is the no contact rule? A breakup recovery strategy where you cut off all communication with your ex, no calls, no texts, no DMs, no checking their social media
Boy, that happens a lot.
for a set period. Typically, they say if you can do it for 30 days, that you will start to feel better.
Well, I was going to say that was way longer. Like, if you really
No.
care about this
I
person,
think, wait, that you should do it.
then you should, like, not have any contact for, like, I was going to say, like, 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, I think never again.
They're,
Really no
they're an
reason.
ex for a reason.
Yeah, there's really no reason to. There's been one time that I really wanted to stay friends with an ex, but I understood. Like, he wanted to go no contact, and I was like, okay. It's not about being petty when you do this. It's about creating a space to heal and reclaim your emotional stability. So it's really hard to recover from a breakup if you're constantly in contact with them, because it just constantly stirs up feelings, or it confuses maybe the person who got broken up with, that like maybe they're going to take me back, or I don't know.
Yeah, I had a friend that was like this, and he actually got a divorce, and he would tell me all the time, he's like, man, I still think about her. I want to reach out to her all the time. And I said, just cold turkey for 6 months. If you can do it for 6 months, you'll be better. And he couldn't. And I just told him, you stop texting her, block her. If you don't have the willpower to not talk, not send a text, not check her social media like you were saying. I was like, block her on everything. He's like, I can't bring myself to do it. I was like, okay, well then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, you're just going to keep opening that wound.
Absolutely. It's just going to keep kicking that can down the road on how much longer you're grieving in a way.
Right. So the same Dr. Fisher that compares love withdrawal to addiction recovery says that no contact allows your brain to reset its dopamine system and stop reinforcing those obsessive thought loops. Each interaction with an ex is like a hit that delays emotional detox.
So 30 days is what they say.
30 days is what they said.
I like it.
And she says, every time you reach out, you're reigniting that craving circuit. You're feeding the addiction.
True story.
So it's super important. For emotional detachment, psychologists like Dr. Guy Winch says, no contact helps reduce emotional dependency and prevents you from reopening wounds every time you check their social media. It helps create psychological distance so your brain can process the loss like a wound that actually heals rather than one that keeps reopening. So yeah, we were right. And does it always work? So when it might backfire on you, and there are necessary exceptions to this rule. Can you think of what one might be where you have to stay in contact with someone?
Well, yeah, if you have kids together.
There you go. You're hitched to that wagon for life.
Boy.
So if you're shared parenting, if you own a business together.
Well, that's easier to get out of. I mean, you can sell and then split the profits, or one person can buy out the other. But I mean, yeah, it does make it more difficult and make you hitched longer to them. But that one can at least be done. But if you have a kid together,
or if you're in a lease that can't be broken, or you can buy it out.
Yeah.
And then here's another one. Pets.
I don't get attached to pets. You can have them.
Don't write us.
What?
Okay, my brother got divorced. My youngest brother, and they shared a dog for more than 10 years. Custody of a dog.
What?
I swear on my life that this happened.
No.
And she lived in Utah, and my brother lived here, and they drove to Grand Junction and swapped the dog out.
How often?
It was like every 6 weeks or something. It was
Are you
often.
kidding?
I'm not kidding. This really happened.
Get another fucking dog.
That's how much they loved their dog. They would not. He actually was a cool dog.
I mean, I take that back. I don't understand because I don't get attached to pets. We used to eat our pets. I mean, cows, pigs, chickens, you eat them. So, I mean, it's like I don't get attached to animals.
Well, some people do.
I understand. That's why I said, you know what? I don't understand. I take that back. Some people, I mean, carry around their dogs in a purse. I don't know.
Correct. My brother had a custody plan for his dog.
I didn't even know. I was today years old when I found that out.
And they did, and my brother got remarried, and he would take his new wife to go meet his ex-wife to pick up their dog. And then my brother had kids with his new wife, and then his kids would come on in.
What the?
I don't understand it. I mean,
Oh, wow.
he was a cool dog, but not that cool. And they had no kids together.
No, that was their kid.
That
They
was their
treated
kid.
it exactly like a kid.
Yes.
10 years? Did the dog die?
He just died this last year.
Good. I mean, not good that the dog died, but good
He's-
that
he's
he can part ways with
Yes.
this woman that he had nothing. No,
Hitched his wagon to
Did
that
she
for
ever
10 more
did
years.
she ever get remarried?
He actually just told me that she got remarried and had a baby. She never wanted kids. And she's like in her early 40s now. And I was like, she had a baby?
Oh boy, she gonna be in her 60s by the time that kid hits graduation times.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so for avoidant attachment styles, no contact can actually reinforce emotional shutdown rather than promote growth. So if you're someone that's avoidantly attached, this no contact can actually maybe be worse for you. Some people confuse no contact with stonewalling or emotional punishment. Experts stress that this is not about revenge, it's about recovery. So if you're doing it just to get back at someone or you're using it to manipulate the relationship, that's not good.
Not good.
So what do you do during no contact? It's not just about cutting them off, it's about focusing on yourself.
Staying busy,
Journaling
hobbies,
or therapy to process the breakup, building new routines and rediscovering your identity,
hang out with your friends more.
connecting with friends and support system.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Bing, bing, bing. Dr. Lindsay Gibson says no contact works best when paired with intentional emotional work, not just gritting your teeth through the silence.
Grin and bear it.
So this is more about, again, looking inward and saying, what happened here? What went wrong? What do I need to take accountability for?
Accountability is like kryptonite to a lot of people.
Right?
I know.
And you do have to say, how can I be better? Or how can I avoid this the next time? How can I make sure that I don't get this
Right.
far down the road before this happens again? Or do I need to fix my communication? Whatever it is that broke down.
One thing that I've been trying is so I read, I don't know where I read it from, but this guy was saying once you start thinking of in the way of accountability and everything is your fault and you start digging down deep and finding out what role you had into it, that your life gets easier. It's like take accountability for everything. There was something I did, something I said, something that led to this. It could be something little, but it led to this thing and it caused it.
Right. Just like we say all the time when you say like, my kid's dad is the worst or whatever. It's like, you picked him.
You picked the fool. What does that say about you?
Right.
Right.
You picked
Yeah.
your baby.
I
married,
love it.
whatever. You
So,
have to take
yeah.
accountability
On-
for the fact that that was a choice you made.
On Facebook, I start laughing. I don't say anything, but I start laughing because I see all kinds of posts about well, my baby daddy didn't even pick up the kids or he didn't pay child support. And I start laughing to myself and I'm just thinking, I was like, you picked him. You picked that because who chooses to get born in the United States? Women. Men don't get to choose on who gets born and who doesn't. Women get to choose who gets born. You picked your baby daddy and you're complaining about him. So now you are telling
Chose to have the baby.
you're telling the world I made a bad choice. I mean, I don't know.
Yep, it's true. Does going no contact help you get your ex back?
No?
So some dating coaches tout that no contact is a way to make them miss you,
Or yes.
but most therapists caution against this motive.
but could be no.
If reconciliation happens, it should come after both people have had time to reflect and grow, not just because silence created anxiety in you.
So yes?
I mean, I
Confused.
think it can go either way.
Oh, okay.
It's just saying that going no contact is not a good way to go. Well, maybe if I go no contact, he'll miss me so much that he'll want to come back. That's not a good theory. And it's possible that you could reconcile with someone, but it should be after enough time has passed that you both decide, like, hey, this is what we're going to do different. And this is, you know, it says no contact is not a strategy to manipulate someone into returning. It's a boundary to protect your peace.
What do you think about the people? Because this happens, I mean, I want to say all the time, but it happens frequently where people get married, people get divorced, and those same people later down the road get married a second time. What do you think?
I know a couple people who've done this.
I do too. Yeah, it didn't work out the second time either.
Oh, I know someone who got remarried and they're still married, but
A second time?
maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's like realizing that the grass isn't greener. And you're like, oh, maybe it wasn't that bad. Because this is awful.
Maybe he just needed to be watered, or she.
Yeah. Or maybe you do realize, like, wow, I could have done something different to salvage this and I just didn't do it. And
Well, that makes me think because so the long-term relationships that I had, and it was the majority of the time the female broke up with me, they always wanted me back later. Makes me think.
you do get a ex text.
I do. I'm not proud of it. I don't know. I don't know why I do, but I mean, I could go 3 months without talking to somebody, and all of a sudden, it's just like, what are you doing, texting me, or just like the week and a half ago, I got a phone call at like midnight from an ex, and I was like, this has got to be an emergency, right? And so I answered it. Probably should not have, but I answered it because I thought I was like, okay, somebody could be dying or something. And it was like,
It's like, hi.
yep, yep. It was like, hi. I just felt like I needed to say hi. I was like,
What do you say to that? You were nice?
I mean, I was nice. Hi. Thanks for calling and saying hi. Hi.
Doing good.
Right. And it was all surface level stuff. And we must have said hi like 15 times back and forth to each other until
Boy.
she was like, okay, well, that's all I wanted to say. It's like, okay, bye.
You got drunk dialed. Midnight?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. I don't think so. She didn't sound like it. Maybe it was 11:59.
Okay, you're not just breaking up with a person now, you're breaking up with a digital presence now, too. So before social media, a breakup meant physical distance. Now your ex is actually virtually present in your feed, your memories, your mutual likes. You know, you ever have pictures that come up? It's like, here's the memory, and
Memories.
you're like,
Oh, that happened. Oh man, I hate when that happens.
I know.
I'm like, I don't even think about that person 4 years ago. I was like, why do you? That's not a good memory. Can you only come up with Facebook? Come up with only good memories.
So, Dr. Tara Marshall, a psychologist who studies post breakup behavior on social media, found that continued social media surveillance, aka creeping, correlates with higher distress and delayed emotional recovery. So, we no longer get clean breaks, we get digital hauntings all the time. I will tell you that when I got divorced, I did not delete anything off of my profile about my ex husband.
What?
Nothing.
Why?
Because I really feel like my Facebook page and my Instagram was like a journal of my life, and I didn't want to just delete it. And I can tell you that when he died, it became the most precious thing to my kids. There were so many pictures on there that they had never seen, and I was so happy that I didn't delete it.
Okay, well, that's different with your ex-husband because you have kids together. Like I have pictures of my ex-wife, and one day I will give them to my kids, but they're not for me. But with, I think it's different anyway for me with like somebody you don't share kids with and you were just dating or in a relationship for 2 years. Hell, I scrub every picture gone from my phone, from social media, everything just done. I was like, no contact. We don't have any ties. I don't need pictures.
So, should you block someone or should you not block someone after you break up?
It depends. I think so. Because a lot of times I don't block them unless I have to. It's like, okay, you keep contacting me is getting out of hand, or everything that you contact me about is negative. That, but I usually don't have to. We just go our own ways and I never talk to them again.
Blocking or unfollowing is often seen as petty, but many therapists see it as necessary emotional hygiene. Dr. Jen Hardy says it's not about immaturity, it's about creating boundaries that protect your healing. So if someone keeps interrupting your healing, then, and some people opt for just muting someone. It's often less harsh way to manage your flood of reminders. And she says your healing comes first. Unfollowing someone is not revenge, it's self-respect.
And I usually don't block, but I will unfriend because there's a difference in that, right? So I unfriend people, and so I
Yeah,
don't
that
have them
means
coming up in my. But they could, if they needed to or wanted to, they could still message me because I didn't block them. But I don't come up on their feed; they don't come up on my feed. So it helps with not having to ever think about them.
so the soft launch of a new partner can feel like a digital gut punch. So that first Instagram story with that mysterious arm or a brunch spot or a vague lyric.
I've seen that before where someone, I don't know, just one of either the guy or the girl will post these mysterious photos and it's like you see two hands and two drinks and they just take pictures of the drinks, but it's like, who are
Who's he
they
with?
with or who's she with?
So it can spiral you emotionally. And experts say seeing your ex move on in real time triggers a comparison reflex and it activates feelings of rejection, even if the relationship's already over. It's what Dr. Guy Winch calls rejection re injury. So getting emotionally poked again and again through curated glimpses of your ex's new life is not a good idea. That's why you should just not follow them anymore. What about posting your own glow up or empowering or performing? So social media encourages us to show we're thriving after a breakup, but sometimes it's just a mask.
A glow up? That's a girl thing.
Yeah, you're like, I lost 30 pounds.
I'm glad you said that. That's one thing I don't understand. It's like you could be in this marriage for like 15 years and you're comfortable and you are, I don't know, 40, 50 pounds overweight, but then all of a sudden you won't do it for your man or for your husband because obviously he didn't freaking matter. But as soon as you get a divorce, oh, I got to get in shape. It's like, why didn't you? You probably would still be married if you would have done these things for your husband.
Good point. Psychologist Dr. Ramani Durvasula warns that performing happiness can become a distraction from real healing. Still, claiming your feed can be empowering, especially if it's done with intention and authenticity.
Just to add to that, so I have a friend, hopefully he's not listening, and he was dating this woman, and they broke up, and I ran into her at a bar, and I was like, you lost weight. And to touch on to what I just said, she goes, yeah, I'm trying to get that someone else is going to see me naked body. I was like, ouch. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So, what about stalking someone's social media?
That shit happens all the time.
Is it harmless curiosity or emotional self-harm?
No, you're creating harm to yourself, especially if you find those pictures that we were just talking about with two hands, or if a female's stalking some guy's profile and he shows a mysterious photo of two drinks and he's out at a bar, it's like, who's he with? And then, like you said, I've turned into a CIA agent, or and so they start digging deeper and finding more stuff, and it's like you're just breaking your own heart even more.
Yep. It says even though nearly everyone does it, most therapists warn that checking up on an ex prolongs grief and idealization. It can become addictive, especially when you interpret posts to mean things that they don't mean. So if you're looking for evidence that they'll miss you, you'll find it, even if it's not there.
Right. Well,
And that's dangerous.
yeah, well, that happens a lot with if you suspect one way or the other that your partner is doing something that they shouldn't be doing. If you dig deep enough, hard enough, even if it's not there, you will turn nothing into something and you'll say, I found it, or whatever it is. It's like, that's nothing. But if you're looking, you'll find it.
Agreed. That is our breakup segment for today. So if you're going through a breakup, keep going. It gets better.
Breakup segment with a little dang surprise in the beginning for me.
I'm so sorry for you.
No, you're not.
No. So this week, you should just open up your heart and mind to something new. If you're going through a breakup, look inward. Try to heal yourself, figure out what you did wrong and where you can strengthen yourself and move forward.
And don't get blindsided because facts don't care about your feelings.
Bye.